Favor to me?
Within the camera.
Check.
What's the sunset? Almost ready to roll.
Good morning
Count it
and welcome
down.
to day 3 of the Commonwealth Table Tennis Federation Masters Championships here from the Wildy Gymnasium in Barbados. Yours truly, Martin Paris, alongside the venerable veteran mentor, Ricky Cummins. Morning.
Good morning to you as well and to the listeners.
Somewhere in the world it's evening and stuff like that. So I'm glad that we have people tuning in and enjoying the table tennis action.
Very good morning all. As we begin in this is the Commonwealth Masters Championship 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, beginning the first round, and approaching table one. We are getting to win the match. Taken by Andrew and Jeremy Moore.
Yes, here the players are making their way out, followed by the officials. You know, Martin,
I'm looking over at the table where Springer and Powlett supposed to be. I'm only seeing Springer.
I don't know if he would be awarded a walkover for this, but you're right. Paulette doesn't seem to be here. You know, Martin, I was telling you, this championship here has extended some flexibility towards everyone. Because here we have officials participating physically. It's a good thing that the officials get a chance to showcase their skills as well as, playing skills is one of the rule book skills, if you want to call it that. Yeah, you're right. Paulette doesn't seem to be here, and he has a 3-minute rest period. I suppose this is going to be a walkover for Springer. Let's wait and see. May extend some courtesy. No, you never know what has taken place. Just getting here on time.
Over on table 2, the pair of Stanley and Forsyth for going through their 2 minutes of knockup.
I think that's St. Vincent playing St. Vincent as well.
A neighborhood derby of sorts. Our feature match is the Griffith and Branch contest here on table 1. These 3 matches in the 55 to 64 category. And then we've got a break tomorrow before the, as I said, business end of the tournament. Saturday and then the finale on Sunday. Just as I was getting my fill of table tennis. Just like yesterday evening, I could not believe the final game over. It's time to go.
Here, this feed is being brought to us by Trident Barbados 10 TV,
as well as, of course,
of course,
Stag
Stag
Global
Global,
and the BTMI, which is the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, and the National Peace Program, the National Sports Council, the Barbados Olympic Association, the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, and local organizing committee.
The Barbados Table Dance Association, yes.
Yes, indeedy. Warm-ups about to be concluded. Umpire will say from the high chair that
Martin,
it's time, gentlemen.
this guy, Mr. Griffith, David Griffith from the Barbados living in England, he plays with a combination racket, hips on one side, grass, and smooth on the forehand, but he twiddles it, twitches it to confuse you, so you can see that during this match.
One of the mornings, head of production, I was here seeing him with about 1,000 balls.
Ball, yes.
And he was going through his warm-up.
Yeah, he does ball feed there.
Did explain to me that his daughter, we were speaking about this yesterday, made the England team in the Olympics.
Yes.
So he's a coach, he's a player, and he takes his game very seriously. Like to hear the audio from the umpire's table, because that gives you that direct feeling that you're right next to the game to hear the ping and the pong.
What I would suggest is that, seeing that most of the games have concluded more or less, the stages, that they place a scoreboard directly in front of us so we can follow it easily, rather than being parallel to the scores, that makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Even here on the feed, it's parallel. So you can put one over there, you know what I mean?
So, just been advised that one of the conditions of play, equal lighting.
Yes, equal lighting.
So, the facility, even though it is spacious and to our naked eyes looks relatively even, if a door or a window is exposing different
direct sunlight, yeah.
can affect one end of the table or the other.
Another sport that would be acceptable, but not table tennis, yes.
If we can go back to what happened in the Caribbean Premier League,
yes.
where the lights went out, and put it this way, if it was advantageous for me to have continued, I would have said, yes, let's go. If you would have progressed, had the game not concluded, you would say no. So eventually they managed to get lights back on in time. Lights and lighting, and now, gentlemen, are underway.
David Griffiths is serving. On the score now is 1-1.
1-2.
As you know, they serve exchanges players every 2 rather than 5.
2-0.
Level again. Oh,
He served it right into the net.
oh, that's it
A
again.
second double fault.
4-2.
Is this something that Officer Branch has spotted? He's trying to make sure he...
No, I think what's happening here is that some of the players were called for foul, illegal serving yesterday and the other day. So these guys have Mr. Hackett there as the umpire. Oh, Anne Reid, sorry.
Yes?
They're very, very careful.
3-5.
So it goes against their rhythm of play, having to toss the ball up from an angle that they're not used to. So
3-6.
Was that adjustment in their service style?
yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Well, if you're going to return like that,
Yes,
you
it's
don't have
okay.
to worry about your service.
Oh, beautiful shot, beautiful shot. Cross court by
6-5.
Branch, down Griffith's backhand, had no answer to that.
Oh, that might have been an undercover ploy to give the impression that wasn't on top of
Five,
his
seven.
game, so to speak.
Alright.
Lull Griffith into a false sense of superiority or security.
Right.
That
6-7.
If Branch continues like this, he should give Griffith a lot of problems.
a run for his money at least.
He's playing snap tennis, and Griffith is not used to that. Griffith is used to rallies.
Yes,
Mistake.
watching him in his warm-ups, he loves elongated rally, as they say.
Right.
That again. Oh,
9-6.
even after the point where secure, the ball was doing as it wanted to do.
Right,
With
Branch
lots
is
of
not,
spin
Branch
on
is
that
not
one.
reading this. Give him a backspin, side spin
6-10.
short, and leave him a top spin out to the pips. See, you can't play the shot.
Change your face at the
Right. You
racket.
can't change. You can't play your shot in the pace that the man serves.
7-10.
As long as it crosses the net, it belongs to you. Take your time with it, and if you play, if in the flight, without reading the hand spin, the bounce is gonna always beat you all the time. What's happening there? Something went wrong.
Branch raised his hand about something. I don't know if they
Yes,
would,
but I saw the umpire read suggested that it came off. You know, if it came off his arm, then it should be point to Branch. But the distance that we are at, I don't think we're able to pick up the fine little nuances. You know.
there you go.
So
The ball left the playing area.
Yeah, right. I see. I see that there's so many
A water
balls.
break as such.
Yes. There's so many balls alike. You don't know, someone could throw back the wrong ball.
Special signature going on the ball there.
Yes.
Does the International
Yes,
Table
yeah,
Tennis
yeah.
Federation issue
Yeah.
a special ball marking pen?
Well, yes.
Things that you find out can't just be what you call
A regular pen.
there's a word that they use. Oh Lord, I'll remember it.
Second game. Griffith to serve. Love all.
To the listeners out there, this gentleman to my left, Mr. Martin Paris, is
Love
one of the
one.
better known umpires of the Caribbean.
Son of.
One of the better known. Yes, he's the son of Stanton Paris, but he himself has performed such duties as
1
well.
all.
That's what it is. That's what it is. What made me enjoy those days is that some of the youngsters, I can call at least 3 names: DeLauren Johnson, Caron Katoy, of course. Yeah, everybody knows he's my favorite, Kevin Hodge.
Okay.
Went on from West Indies under 19 level to senior West Indies
3-2.
full maroon plays, and whenever they're around or they see me, Amps, how you doing? I don't have to
2-4.
seek them out.
Okay.
So I have at least 3 sons that, as far as they're concerned, he wasn't all that bad after all.
I think Branch now seems to have gotten the knack of the slow
5-3.
service and the high toss. See, he hasn't foul serve as yet.
And on the international scene, I don't get to see Christopher Jordan as often, but I remember when he played primary school cricket, National Sports Council primary school finals. I umpired the game that he played in at Empire Club. That was where they held the finals. Now they're going to be using Friendship. Yorkshire and Friendship, which is
Another area.
just outside of Bridgetown.
5-6.
But this facility here has proven to be worth its weight in gold, so to speak.
Top class facility.
7-5.
As I was telling a player yesterday, I think you were present. This is a scaled down version to me of the workers gymnasium in China. The layout is exactly the
7-6.
same, but it's a scale down. That venue accommodates 18,000 people, and this is a scale down version of it.
I believe that's when we were talking with
6-8.
Miss Best from the
Yes,
Central Bank.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, old brain is not as shaky. She was also. I'm trying to picture where their sports club have a
6-9.
table tennis board.
I think it's downstairs in the lunchroom, you know.
There you go. Okay, I've never been fortunate to go into the lunchroom, the grand salle.
Grandson, yes. Tom Adams complex, yes.
Odd,
Beautiful shot in the branch. Beautiful.
yes, the odd business
9-7.
in the regular bank itself.
Yes, yeah.
But hello to Deputy Governor Elson Gaskin.
This is that player is just now the
9-7.
one before this. What we term that as a serve and kill. You serve, the guy returns, and you kill it. Boom. Third ball attack.
Because you've set up the
Yes.
shot
From the
11-7.
service.
hopefully
From the
from the
service.
service,
Yes, from the service. Yeah.
provided that the opponent
The opponent, yeah,
returns.
the way you want him to return it, yes. Or you expect him to return it. That's for that first game there. Seemed to have ended at 7 because we can't see it from here. The next break we get, I'm going to ask the organizers to put a
11-7, yeah. That was the end of
7,
that
yeah.
first
Yeah,
game.
11-7, yeah.
Going to,
Griffith.
yes.
I think Griffith.
I'd advise score is correct, but peeping on the monitor, it's supposed to be Griffith and Branch on table one.
Yes. I think Griffith is
9.
being allowed too many breaks,
Third
towel
game.
breaks.
Branch to
During
serve.
this match,
Level.
he's had one towel break and a water break already. At the end of that game, he had another towel break.
Perhaps
Love
the humidity, perhaps the early morning ambient temperature of the gymnasium, where they are in the center of the
1-0.
facility. More body heat. They're actually moving around, so. And they were warming up
1-2.
well before 9:30 call time. That's one of the benefits of a game like table
Well,
tennis.
You spin it.
Gives your body some opportunity to.
That's a chop. Don't drive a chop in the middle of the board. Spin
But
it.
do remember that as many hats as you wear,
Sorry.
one of them is a judge. No. We are on commentary.
Yes.
They're not having any FM earpieces to hear the
3-0.
coaching advice that's being given. I often wonder the
4-3.
knowledgeable crowds that attend, let's say, Flushing Meadows or Wimbledon, and it's lawn tennis. The coaches hardly ever have to tell their players anything because the regular fans who attend the games will say,
Shout. Yeah,
serve and volley, force him in the back.
Come to the net more often.
Yes,
5-4.
come off the baseline,
4-6.
stuff like that. Yeah, work the tram line. Interesting.
5-6.
Got to force the stick. Not with spin that time, but with pace. Oh,
7-5.
did he concede the point there?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I think he'd be generous here, mainly due to the fact that he thinks well, not the fact thing. He believes that he
Can hold his own against
Branch.
Branch.
Has branches can measure, yes. So,
He's got Branches 2-on-1
yes.
7-6.
as his number. Corny jokes aside, of course, we have identified Master Branch is an officer of the Barbados Police Service, so 2
7
on 1
all.
being the when you have to explain the
Yeah,
things,
yes.
it's totally lost. Oh, horrible. Ooh. Oh, yes. Rally of the morning.
8-7.
You'll never know if he's going to get it back on because it disappeared beneath the table. And then the opposite, a
7-9.
long rally, extended rally in the previous point.
I can see here that David Griffith has a planned game. Has a game plan. When he goes to the
7-10.
forehand, serves with his backhand to Branch's backhand, or 2/3 of the board, he counters in the middle of the board, knowing that Branch has to cover the forehand. So he has a game plan here. Plan.
Game.
That's it.
3 straight.
11,
Shake,
11.
hug. Thank you,
Like
umpire.
I said, he knew he had Branch's game, in the bag. So,
Well,
but unlike most of the other players, he knows what he wants to do, what he has to do to win, because he has a structured game. And mainly, the other guys just play shots, and you've got to incorporate your shots into a game in order to be successful. You just can't play shots when the ball. You just can't wait till the ball returns to play a shot. You have to know what you have planned so that you can execute properly and effectively.
20 minutes of work. Well, what we did also see was Springer, Courtney Springer, over on table 3, getting a walkover from Frederick Pollitt.
Hey,
Just hope that it wasn't anything untoward.
of course.
That all is well with Pollitt, except that he just physically wasn't able to be present
On time.
on time for the match. And so caught up with Stanley and Forsyth that we missed out on their game.
Yes,
that's over as well.
Over as well, yes.
These are the 55 to 64s. So we have to get around now to see one of the few 40 to 54s. Scheduled now for the start time of 10:30. We've got Dowell and Humphreys. That's Mark Anthony Dowell, Edwin Humphreys on table 1. Then we'll have Shannon Duglin and Joel Henry.
Trinidad and Tobago, yeah. That should
2.
be a very interesting match.
And our local derby again, 2 old rivals, Trevor Farley and Dale Rudder, table 3. So the 40 to 54s may serve up some
Exciting
battles
tennis.
within battles.
Yes, some very exciting tennis. Because as you remember yesterday, they left the shot of the tournament so far with us, a behind the back return, around the back. That was against Mardell.
Which was matched later in the proceedings by
Julia. Yeah, but it was not successful. Yeah, the attempt was there, but
Yes.
the execution did not match the attempt,
Looking on in the schedule, final set of matches for the morning session, the 65 to 74 category. Already seen the silver-topped David Mahabir, Trinidad and Tobago. He's going to be up against Wilmot Goddard. That's the 65 to 74 category. And he gets pride of place on table 1. Royal Husbands has gotten a bye in that session. Then Carlisle Cleveland plays Lieutenant Colonel Trevor Brown. Those will be the 3 matches to bring a wrap to the pre-lunch session.
Martin, what I've noticed watching this young group of players compared to my day, there was a big gap, if you want to call it a chasm, between the top players and the ones that were coming after us. But that gap has obviously narrowed significantly. And you've got people like Dr. But he's now a doctor, but they're using Dr. Then, Dr. Marcus Smith, defeating Trevor Farley, the former Caribbean champion. as I said before, these young guys are not afraid to play against the senior players. In my day, the younger fellas stayed away because they felt embarrassment. No, the term that we use, you get a pick, which is an underscore on the double digit score, and but these guys are not afraid, and they're playing with such speed and accuracy. The only difference here is that they have not constructed as yet a game with the style that they're playing. Because the style is one thing, but you must have a game to accommodate and carry that style. And what I also find is that they're not sussing out their opponent as accurately or thoughtfully as they should. They just come and play the game from practice. You gotta watch your opponent, know where his strengths are. Like I remember, I played some guy, I think it was in China some years ago, and Robert came over to me and said, Ricky, you know, he's strong in his forehand. I said, well, Robert, you can't hide the ball on a table tennis board. I got to look for his weaknesses, you know what I mean, and exploit them. I can't stop him from playing his best shot, because when he serves, he has control over that. So Robert then said, okay. But you got to...
And then there's the as I say, concomitant
yes.
point to someone having a favorite shot or
Yes.
a more successful shot.
And they
You
always want to
feed
play.
that.
Always want to play to get that shot in. So
You feed that, and the angle is not quite there, or there's more spin on the ball than, you know, whatever adjustment you have made in feeding them the
Yes.
shot, and they miss it.
Right, because they're still going to go for the shot because they see it coming, and they're going to go for it, and they have not detected that the ball has very spin. It has what we call in tennis an empty ball, which means it doesn't have any spin. It's empty
At all.
Right, empty. So it looks as though it's charged with spin, but it's empty. And if you watch the players contact, the open like 105 degree is a ball that's going to carry spin. If it's right angle, it's empty. This. I'm not being biased here, but I think I'll back Mark Dowell to win this. Mark Dowell's a touch player with varied spin, and he has what is term in tennis as controlled variation, not control and variation, controlled variation. And you're going to see some of it here when he's playing. Yes.
And to finish the point that we were making before the announcement, as the toss is being made, when your go-to shot is not on, it shakes your
Yeah, but that's
game
what I
plan.
mean. You don't have a structured game. You should have a plan B or shot B to go to until you pick back up, because it's going to come.
And if your opponent has done their homework, you should have a plan C right down to plan Z or Z. So, Dowell in the grayish, like that. Don't
That's
hold me
great.
tight for,
That's
for
great.
colors.
That's great.
Interesting that they've been allowed to leave. Yeah?
But it hasn't started as yet.
Toss been made, and
It hasn't started as yet.
they're bringing the personal equipment.
So when they bring it in there, they can't take it out during the game.
And they've decided to utilize the tables just outside the playing area.
Yes.
Well, chairs at least. Going through his mental preparation as well.
Mental and
Is it called-
shadow.
yeah,
Shadow.
shadow shooting.
Yeah, shadow tennis. Yeah. Shadow tennis.
I know it's shadow boxing.
Yeah,
in
shadow tennis
boxing.
also. Yes, it's shadow tennis.
And
That preparation mimics the actual, but it is more intense when it comes to thinking, because the ball isn't there. You're imagining the ball is there, and you're assuming that you're playing Martin, Ricky, right, and the ball is coming from this, right. So it's far more intense thinking than the actual play.
Because it's not reacting to
No,
something that's
no,
really
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
This is imagining something.
What
else.
we would call now artificial intelligence.
Yes. In real time.
In real time, yes. Because you can work up a sweat quite easily doing that. Quite easily, yeah.
All this chicanery and
See,
mental.
Carl Seeley now is doing the board, wiping down the board,
Yes.
because they just had a match that was played there. So you need to clean the board after every, it should be after every game, but after every match. There was a time that people used to wipe their hands on the board, and that is not allowed anymore.
Correct.
Right? Because obviously, some guys, before they get to the tennis center and they're preparing to leave, at the shower and thing, they put on cream. So if you do that, you're putting grease on the board, and if the ball hits there, it's not.
It's going to
it's not gonna
perform
bounce.
different.
Yeah, it's going to shoot off like a. So that is not allowed now anymore.
Arresting your
Right.
glass
There was
of
also
cold
a
water.
time too that guys used to bend their knee, bend their foot, or wipe the bottom of the hand, the bottom of the sole up. All that's no longer fair. Yeah.
The playing area and the material of the
Right
playing
next
area.
to the umpire, or the assistant umpire, really. And you know, the rackets are examined in the outside,
A lot of parallels to boxing. The
Right.
same way how you go and
right,
get your
the rackets
checked.
are
Your
examined
equipment
over
is
there.
checked before you enter
But
the field of play.
even though that has happened, and a player comes in and has a second thought about it, he could also request that he see the racket again, because maybe he didn't see exactly and entirely what, you know. So that is also allowed.
Or something distracted him and
But
his memory
the referee
changed
has
and
to approve it. You just can't.
And these things are done in the presence of
yes,
the referee. as well.
independent referee, yes.
Because I could claim that you had two blue rubbers and you turn it with a red and a green.
You can blame me for that as well. I want to show you something here. Watch how he's holding the ball in his fingers and serve. See how the bad habits, see the bad habits? See where the bad habits come from?
Can't hold it like a
No.
grip between
No,
your
watch it.
fingertips.
So when that's practice, see, as you know, practice make permanent. So when he comes now, he may forget that he's not practicing anymore and hold the ball in his fingers.
Ball is left on the table. Umpire has ended the knockout session.
Game 1 versus Dowell versus Humphreys. Dowell serving.
Final
Bravo.
instructions. First point of the exchange.
1 love.
To Dowell.
Dowell. You know, it's every day more and more names come as next to them, to the left of the shot.
Love 2.
Rudder and Farley are up
Dowell is
against
2
each
up.
other.
Won both of his service points. You know.
Abbey played by Clark, Holford.
Watch it touch that Dowell has. He doesn't have the power. He feeds on you and he feeds off of your power. Watch how he plays.
Love 3.
Berating himself there.
And that's what we were calling on tennis and unforced error. So.
3-1.
His game is based primarily on spin. Double spin. He's not
4-1.
an all-out aggressive attacker. He's touch spin control.
Not that time.
Not that time, no.
Unloaded down the line.
1-5.
Had a wide opening there, so 1-5. No. The ball should have gone to the assistant umpire. See what the ball
Wipes in his
hands.
hands.
That is not allowed. Anyhow,
Wiping of the ball goes to the
referee or the umpire, whichever one you want to.
umpires.
But they have a towel there for that.
3.
And whatever device and depression they
I
were
remember in Aruba when we won that tournament. We were playing Puerto Rico. Charlie Rodriguez, he was an American bass player. And Robert was telling me how good he is, but he had beaten Robert. I beat him. And the scores were locked 4-4, and Mr. Morris was so glad that I was playing the final set. Anyhow, Charlie Rodriguez was wiping the ball in a wet towel.
3-8.
I mean, sorry, drying the ball.
He was wiping it in a wet towel,
Drying it,
'cause he
drying
couldn't
it.
be drying it anyway, so I got you. I heard it loud and clear. Nice long rally here.
Yes.
Oh,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
and the change of
He
angle.
picked the wrong wide angle, and he should have gone down the middle of the board. Down the middle of the board.
You and I both know, and possibly all the viewers, leaving the playing area to retrieve a ball, there would have been somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Drying
93.
the ball and wiping the ball in your trouser pocket and stuff like that would not have been happening. But I love the participation and the enjoyment of, except that it's a relaxation of
Beautiful. You see,
playing
the
conditions and regulations.
two previous points, as you say, he drove the ball down through the forehand. He did the same service, and it came back the same way, but he went to the middle of the board, confused the guy, because the guy was looking to recover on the forehand.
That was going to be game point.
What's this, 4-10? Yeah.
4-10.
After that second drive, he didn't have any control over it. Shouldn't have taken it back to the same position. That's a foul service.
Point is gone.
11-5.
So that's 11.
Game to double.
Watch it, look. Watch it. Turn the hand, and then he turned. He did palm the ball, but he turned it.
Some footage for
Thanks for that assist.
training and coaching.
Now we're over here with Farley and Dale. Yeah, looks like Farley won the first game, yes. Dale's,
2 points.
yeah, Dale's side-to-side movement is going to be compromised because of his knee. He has some warning cartridge in his left knee.
Let's go.
The head games possible. Executed by Rudder.
Score is 2-2. Can I get it? Rudder is not playing like he did yesterday, but you know, every day is a
Time,
different
gentlemen.
day.
Well, the
You're as good as
resumption on table 1 is about to happen, so
you're as good as you are as your last
Game
game.
number 2,
as
double
they say,
versus Humphreys. Humphreys serving. Love all.
and the protocols of
That's another foul service. Watch his thumb.
protocols of
Love
ultimate in
1.
the venue. You can't call another game that's starting on another table while other games like progress. Because the players might call that a distraction.
Come on, man,
etc.
Eddie. It's too easy.
They can pause the point and call that as well.
2,
That right.
love.
You're at game, set, a match point,
3,
championship
love.
point, and someone calls let to say, excuse me, with the driver of Z414. Take your vehicle, you've left the lights on.
Love 4.
Then I want you to watch this guy serve carefully. You can see it better from this angle. Yeah, the Trinidadian guy, yeah. So I want you to watch him. Especially the forehand, serves on the forehand. Watch it carefully.
1-4.
So he presents the ball.
Right, watch it.
It's upside down
See?
at the moment.
See?
And he's got it between
Yes, come.
the thumb
Yeah.
and that the fleshy
That's,
and that fleshy bit,
yeah.
which again will produce a different
Yes, of course.
reaction.
Treating it as though he has a web finger, you know.
It's put in motion.
5-1.
Come on. One my point.
So Humphrey is
6-1.
behind and having to attack for points. Doesn't have the luxury of waiting double to make a mistake.
2-6.
He's got a service.
That's an
They'll
edge.
change your name,
Lucky,
Mark
lucky.
Anthony Dowell, to Mr. Edgel.
Mr. Edgel, yeah, Mark Anthony Edgel.
2-7.
A player we had in Barbados that was famous for that was Ronald Trotman.
Known for his extremely patient defensive game.
Yeah, and-
He'll put back on anything that was sent to him, and eventually he'll find an edge on the table.
we used to go on to the fisherman, you know, because he was a pastor, you know. They said Jesus is the king of fishermen, because he always had the net. Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I think now Darrell has changed the pace and tempo of the game
9-2.
because he realized that the guy is now getting used to his touch style. So he has up the tempo a bit. See, good. Up the tempo a bit.
And he can afford to do that because he's also up not only in points, but
Games.
a game ahead.
2-10.
Doing that. Humphreys, excuse me. Doing that, Humphreys has to battle, put everything at risk.
3-10.
Watch it again. Right? It's not now and next week. It's only, oh, that's a different one. That's a high toss.
Almost as though the ball came off his thumb.
Yeah. See, right, the word
In
tournament.
the pocket
See,
again.
Problem, you can't do that.
10-4.
If the ball is thing, you hand it to the umpire. This isn't the umpire. Let them clean it. No.
Trying to be cheeky there.
But he was out of position, so you had to play a power shot to get back into the game and not make any points. So take a chance and
10-5.
was almost successful with it.
That was probably what you call it, dead ball. No, not a dead ball. Was it
No,
called?
he
A
feels
full
like
ball.
no, but he took his eye off the ball. He wanted to see where he wanted to put it. If you know the board, I mean, it's only 4.5 feet you're playing with on the opposing side. You don't have to look to see. You should watch the ball on contact, and you know from your contact action and your pace where the ball should go.
7-10.
Like what you said to me yesterday, Michael Marshall. Right.
Empty ball.
Oh dear. But up on the
11-7.
over the table by hand chop, little push.
Game Dowell.
Double is 2.
And it looked a lot closer.
Yes.
The difference in the second game, Dowell made a few more unforced errors.
Yeah, than before. Because he upped the tempo, he changed the pace of the game. He now was doing the lead aggressor, as opposed to being content and staying back like beyond bar or those people and lobbing. So he realized that he could not play the entire match like that. Because the boy would have gotten accustomed to it quite quickly.
So for the third game now, Humphreys has to contest contend with the fact that one,
He's too zip down.
Double has two styles exposed so far.
Yeah, too. Okay, I understand what you're saying too.
He's got to make sure that he too can win his service points and now try to get 3 games
Time,
on the
gentlemen.
trot.
Yes.
And although this is not pool or snooker or billiards, you can safely say that Humphreys is behind
Yes.
the 8 ball.
Yes. Benny, yeah.
Game 3, Dowell versus Humphreys. Dowell to serve. Double.
Fresh ball. Haha. I'm going to ask you about that. Are you allowed to give the ball
One,
a bit of
love.
a spin on the table after
Yes, yes,
the
yes, yes, yes.
umpire has given you the ball?
Yeah, there were times that we used to have to spin the ball like that,
Love, two.
opposites, you know, to make sure that it rotates evenly.
It's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he was satisfied with that.
Sometimes it wobbles, you know, even though but then it's also a mass-produced item. You know, it's a mass-produced item.
And you never know if it was made on a Thursday before quitting time
Love,
or
three.
Friday's delivery time. Last 1,000 or so balls might not have estimated. I'm not sure.
They also have a ball called a seamless ball. It doesn't carry seam at all. I bring one tomorrow. They see it. I think I have a box on. Doesn't carry seam at all. Those were introduced and then they quickly rejected them after.
If you inject something into a closed mold and you rotate the mold,
Yeah.
various production things called blow molding and stuff like that.
Like glass, you know, like glass, yeah.
Yes. And then you get 2 halves of a ball and you join them together. I want to use the word hermetically sealed. Make it sound so I know industrial production.
Yeah, don't mind that, we understand. That's
4, love.
more commonly used in
Packaging.
also coffins and sarcophagus.
Oh, yeah, well, there's nothing dead about that. That shot, very much alive. As is the coverage of the second Commonwealth Table Tennis Federation Masters Championship. Brought to you here, compliments of Stag Global.
You missed something though. Just now, the guy Humphreys put the ball off the table
1-5.
and it was wide. And Dowell took it on his racket. Previously, that was considered a volley. The point would have gone back, which I thought was always madness. So you put the ball back in play. So I'm very, very glad that they discontinued that and abolished that rule.
And perhaps if he had opted to put it back on to keep the rally going, it would have been alive. But because he was just catching it with it, there's a difference of observation and application. So BTMI, the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, also a sponsor, along with the National Peace Program, the National Sports Council, this venue we're using, Barbados Olympic Association, just located outside of this Garfield Sobers Wildy Gymnasium,
Oh dear.
and the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, and the local organizing committee, the Barbados Table Tennis Association.
3-7.
The feed is being transmitted. Tried at 10 TV.
3-8.
They're doing an excellent job. Fantastic job in transmitting this feed. Tried at 10 TV.
Flat. 3
Screaming for more events of this nature to be taking place. Clearly the tables are available. The hoardings may come and be changed according to sponsors, but
Mark just targeted for that point. Targeted it.
9-3.
looking like 8-3.
I'll tell you something, the point before that, Mark targeted in the air and he did a swirl shot. And I thought it rolled on his racket before it it went
9-4.
off, and I don't think they
One contact if you're racking
yeah.
or you're.
Yeah, I thought it rolling. But we don't have any cameras to replay them, bring back the replay. Like in cricket, you go to the third umpire.
Or in football with VAR.
Yeah, VAR.
Challenge flag thrown in NFL. For those following the stream, I've seen a 30,000 US dollar prize money tag listed. Can you tell me more about that?
No, I have not been briefed or detailed on it, and I don't know if it covers the entire tournament.
11-5.
I didn't say what the eventual winner will get, but it's just
Dowell wins the
$30,000.
match 3-0.
Should come back. Okay. At the break, what we can do at the break, we can ask and get more clarity on it. It was down here in the bottom where this now. Here though. Anyhow. The sensitivity of these screens.
So yes, 30,000 US dollars. That's as
I believe that we spread across the categories.
overall prize money for the various categories.
So.
And as we were checking out the prize money, someone who has, how do you say, firmly or put his hand up towards.
I got the organizer to install the scoreboard down there, so we'll be able to get it now. That should be.
At least for table one, there's
Yes,
a
for table
direct
one,
scoreboard
yes.
in front of us.
That request has been accepted.
And Mark Anthony Dowell, 3 straight
Is it there?
over Edwin Humphreys. And Douglin and Henry in action over on table 2. Farley and Rudder to our left on table 3.
Martin, yesterday I was approached by one of the players. They wouldn't disclose their names. And they were contesting some calls by one of the umpires. And but I came because I'm one of the judges. I said to them that there's a process and a channel you have to go through. You just can't. It's like an appellate court judge following a lower court decision and decided that it was badly handled, right? And they decided to take it up. No, it doesn't work like that.
You cannot appear amicus curiae,
Yes, right.
because you may be put in a position where you have to make a decision on that matter when it does officially reach.
Exactly. So I told him it's a challenge if he wants to. And what he could also do is if they're having problems with their mental stability while playing with these guys because it will affect their game, they can approach the committee and ask that the person be replaced. That is allowed. But you just don't, I guess because I'm here and I guess they can approach me quite easily, and I think that I can make a decision from here.
There are often scenarios where
Jamal.
there are people who are not familiar with the process of a protest. Does it have to be accompanied by a fee? Has to be formally lodged? Thank you. Formally lodged within 48 hours of the infringement, etc.
But in tennis, it can't be 48 hours,
Who has to be informed?
The chief judge. That a complaint is lodged against him or against one of his, and then it has to be referred to, and then the evidence has to be produced based on that. So it's not as straightforward as it looks.
Rather adding some vocal coaching and admonition to him, to himself during the exchanges.
Wow, wow. That is a serve. That looks like one from the Roberts vault. Ryder does something similar. You see, when you serve like that from the middle of the board with your backhand, with your backhand, your transition, the time that you transition to your forehand to recover is about a 0.5 of a second slower. And some good players return the ball quickly to the middle of the board, the more board again to confuse you all. You know?
I play it from my chest, I play it from my chest, and then in the next one I actually come to my belly button. Even that, playing the ball from the lower, changes the tempo, the trajectory, and everything.
When you serve the ball
Subtle
out
adjustments.
long, serve the ball out long, you've got to have a lot of spin on it. Just out long, the player is going to drive it. It's not, he may miss it, but he's going to spin it hard.
Choking Radadero.
Down the middle of the board, yeah, that's...
Right, look, buddy.
Resting on the board there, temporarily.
It's a pretty good game going over here on table two, with Shannon Duglin and Joel Henry.
So that one completely off the board.
We should say Dr. Shannon Duglin. That's his title. As I was saying yesterday, we are very fortunate to have at these games 2 medical doctors that play and participate. We are very fortunate. Dr. Marcus Smith and Dr. Shannon Duglin.
Well, at 56, I've been gradually, they tell me stop being the grammar police. And I said, but why? Growing up, became a doctor and referred to Shannon as Dr. Duglin. If he became a surgeon, he no longer had the designation of doctor. He went back to being Mr. Duglin.
So I know that.
So if Shannon's a surgeon now, are we going to be calling him Dr. Duglin? He's surgically applying his table tennis skills. But yeah, things like
But here he might be
gender.
issuing prescriptions, you know.
There you go. He might be just being a general
GP, yeah.
personal physician, all those things. Well, 11-4, that final score in the match with Farley and Rada. Both out of the playing area, having some water, which is good, because sometimes the tubes, like us, need a little lubrication and hydration. And a little sip here and there of some nice water is fully appreciated. These games having been completed. It's just now 2 more games before the cessation of the morning session. For the meal break. Used to know meal times all around the world in the famous time zones in London. Always nice to get some updates. As I was about to tell you, the last set of games because of a vacancy on originally scheduled table 3, and for viewing purposes, table 1 will still be David Mahabir against Wilmot Goddard, and they'll shift the Cleveland Brown, which is Cardell Cleveland versus Trevor Brown match, up to table 3.
To the final round of the morning session. In this final round, we will have on table number 1, David Mahabir, Wilmot Goddard, our umpires, Marcus Smith, Andre Moore. And on table number 3, we have Cardell Cleveland versus Trevor Brown, our umpires, Julia Morrison, Tamara Chai.
Sorry. I think I'm going to support Mahibir here. He's technically more advanced, and he has some very ancient rubbers, to use that term, that the Barbarian guy, Wilmot Funk Garden, he's not accustomed to.
No, sorry. We're just talking about me attempting to remember time zones around the world to know where lunchtime was. And now Mr. Ramkasoon says that they're going to have doubles later. But at
3 o'clock.
Doubles at 3 o'clock or doubles matches?
Doubles matches at 3 o'clock.
My stomach is here. This is after
Not-
October food comes first.
not the Trinidadian
Trinidadian
doubles.
Mahabir is playing. Trinidadian Ramkasoon is making the announcement that doubles will be at 3 o'clock. I am going to go over there and hold him to his word.
Not that kind of doubles. Doubles matches.
I'm going to hold him to his word.
All right, 2 minutes warm up.
So in
I think Cleveland will win this match. and I
orange
think-
shirt
I think,
with the silver here, facing us, which will be in the
Funk, you might want
far
the ball.
court.
Funk doing this on purpose. He might want the ball returned to the forehand, and Funk taking the ball to his backhand.
Forgetting that this is supposed to be warm up.
Yes, I feel out. I feel out.
No rhythm whatsoever. Try to get his,
Confused, yeah,
his
into his head,
opponent
yeah.
as
See? Funk hitting it the right time. Funk is not giving it where he wants it.
in mind games.
My bear's complaining, but he can't tell the guy where to hit the ball.
Ready?
What he can do is refuse to serve the ball and wait until the referee calls the game.
Please.
Wait until,
Can I not give my opponent the ball? Let him serve it.
Mahabir versus Goddard. 3 best of 5. First game,
What's going
Mahabir
on
serve. Level.
Okay.
Level.
It's no start to this.
He's agreed to forfeit his
It's
warm-up
wrong,
time.
yeah.
A ball.
Left 2.
And you also notice Mahabir is in no hurry to get the
Yes.
ball back in play.
But his racket, I think, should be questioned. Yes, the rules say that it must be 80% wood,
Love to.
at least 80% wood. But he has a combination of wood on his racket, 2 types of wood. And the top layer doesn't even look like wood to me. It looks
4
like
love.
some type of resin.
Resin?
Yeah, yes.
a composite material.
Yeah, yes. But
You keep
Five,
reminding me
love.
of all these anecdotal things and sayings
you
and
got,
adages.
yes, you got to be very careful.
The
Talking to
tree thought the axe was its friend
Yes,
because
and
its
it had
handle
wood.
was made of wood.
Yes, I remember.
1 5.
I remember that.
And there were people playing baseball
1 6.
who introduced the aluminium or aluminum, depending on which pronunciation you choose, bats.
They had some of those.
7 1.
They were all experimental because I think Robert Earl had one as well.
Rackets.
Yeah. And they give a different song when you hit the ball. Bong, bong. And the
8,
other
1.
players complain that it's disturbing, disturbing their concentration.
So, I'm going to put you in a very quick quiz as Mahabir is calmly, up until that point in time, he was calmly progressing with this game. Did you play with a blade, A paddle or a racket in your days?
Well, you can say all three.
3-8.
All three. It moved from paddle to racket, and now it's blade. And the blades now are sanctioned by the ITTF, and they have the
9-3.
stamp of the manufacturer on them before you apply the rubber. So you will know if it's an approved
10-3.
racket, but his is not.
Because
That's homemade.
ping pong was with paddles.
Yes.
You're playing table tennis now on that shift again.
And the ping pong was really from
4-10.
China. Ping pong, ding dong.
And
I think
the blade is what the rubbers are applied to.
yes.
Table tennis rackets.
Game for Mahabir.
Mahibir took that game 21-4. Like I said before, opened the opening, that he would take this quite easily. Although Funk has variation as well, he's somewhat orthodox. Mahibir is not as orthodox as he is.
Quest for water. There is water available.
I'm glad that Brown won that one because Cleveland just raised his hand during the rally, and I don't know why he did it, but he should know better because he is an umpire.
And Mr. Brown unleashes a shot down the line.
Love 1.
Apparently he went on the range today.
Oh dear. Watch Mr. Cleveland. Correct.
Yes.
He's an umpire that has called people for fouls earlier, and he's doing exactly the same thing. Watch on his backhand serve. You know what I'm talking about. It may be shadowed from where the angle we are at, but he is not
3.
serving
Love.
correctly.
Will we get to see him now serving?
Hopefully he's doing it in his backhand. See? He's pulling the ball into it. Pull it in, not
Love
toss it,
4.
pulling it in.
The ball has not gone up anywhere.
So tell you, anyway.
Love 5.
Again, hopefully it'll be footage that can be used
Yeah, a
to
lot
train
of
people.
flexibility is being observed here relative to
6. Love.
my Bears leading Funk here 6-0.
I'm going to beg you for a very quick
6-1.
excuse to share a little information with Jamal or
Okay,
Chief.
go ahead.
1-7.
Mahi Bear is leading Funk here 7-1. Second game, first game Mahi Bear took at 4.
2.
He's covering the
7.
board very well. And Funk is not as confusing to him as he is normally to other players.
6.
8-3.
Score now is 8-3, or 8-3 to Mahibir after winning the first game.
I'm going
Now
to give you
that-
some coordinates and some
3-9.
numbers. See if your scout days are still working. The row is G, and the number of people is 6.
3-10.
Jump G6.
So, and come down in G6 and tell me what you see. Directly above the technical desk.
I'm watching. I see some school
10-4.
children there.
Oh, what a pleasure. And they were here.
Three school children
Yeah.
in
Six
school
people in-
uniform.
yep.
There are 5 in there.
Game 4.
Each one of them was going, Mr. Harris, Mr. Harris.
And they're waving at us because they're aware of what's going on.
Saw them from this morning and they were all
Now,
greeting Mr.
Mahibir
Harris.
is making a complaint here. Maybe it's the same light that is emitting from the glass door up here. I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
Taking a stand here now, making sure that it's not the one to the north.
Northeastern, yeah, north.
Over on the southeast, there is a bit of
Glare.
glare.
But the covering there has fallen away and maybe needs to be taped up.
Third game, Mahabir to serve. Level.
I remember. Yes, directly. I remember we had a tournament in
One love.
the Dominican Republic, and during that tournament, Hurricane Allen
One
was active.
It's around 79, 80.
Yes,
Yeah.
80 to be exact. And they had some hanging, like
1-2.
vegetation, like baskets, like they have give the ambience of like greenery. And yes, Martin. And these
Pendulums?
things were moving like out there, and
3-1.
so they wanted us to play. So I threw the ball up in the air to serve, and the wind took the ball.
3-2.
And then they realized that it was really impossible to play tennis under those conditions, you know. But I was not one who was afraid to complain or protest, you know what I mean? I was not one who was afraid to do that.
2-4.
And you'd have demonstrations for that.
I'm just putting a chinky service there, man, a chinky one.
3-4.
No, he should go down and give the ball back to the umpire before he proceeds to
Restart
serve.
play.
Right? See?
Gone into the monastery with every trick possible.
5-3.
Not quite working. Careful how
This
you're
is
resting your hands
close,
on the
yeah,
table.
there's a closer game here. It's now 5-3 to Mahibir. I think he takes on the service now.
6-3.
You see how he just served the ball with the black side
And
then
the blue
switched,
side.
then
7.
switched to the right to return.
Because it was the first time I had noticed how blue the blue side was.
Yes, yes.
Is a hand raised, is that a warning or a penalty or a timeout? What is it?
The timeout.
Okay. Requested for medication.
No, when the game is getting away from you, and you need time to
Approach your coach.
Right. There's no coach in here, but you need to internalize the game that you are playing and do some kind of internal introspection and see what's going on. And it's just a 1 minute. And see, it has been noted that Goddard took a
3-7.
timeout. And
So Goddard
Yeah.
approached
Yeah.
the umpire
Yeah.
and requested
Yeah.
a timeout.
and the time is also recorded when it was done, right? Yeah.
Okay. Now the other thing about it is, if I approach you
9-3.
as the umpire and I'm having a discussion with you, a lengthy discussion,
No, the umpire
9-4.
controls the time.
right?
Yeah. You don't determine how long it's going to be.
4-10.
So if I'm not satisfied that what I'm asking you for or
Netball.
getting the clarification on,
4-10.
which is also the same 1 minute of a timeout without getting an official timeout, how is that handled?
All right, I'll give you a classic.
5-10.
We were here at Caribbean Juniors. I was coaching the guy Anderson. Anyhow,
Game
very
to
talented
set.
player.
Match to Mahabir.
So we were playing Puerto Rico, right?
Right.
Puerto Rico. And the Puerto Rican guy called for a timeout. So it gives us time to reconstruct our game strategy and that kind of stuff. So as soon as they went back to the table, I called a timeout. And everybody was puzzled. What's going on here? So Anderson came back to me. He asked me, coach, what's going on? I said, no, nothing is wrong. I just try to confuse your opponent. See, this is a Muhammad Ali strategy. It's not confusion. So we can spend time here talking nothing. He started to laugh. So we went back, the whole complexion of the game changed. Anderson won. You know?
Well, just like Mahabir won 11-5,
Yeah.
3 straight,
Just yes.
and it's the Cleveland and Brown song, almost like a presidential election set of names.
General
Carla Cleveland.
President Cleveland.
And Trevor Brown are still battling away.
See, that's not a phone service there again, see?
And this is our last game before the lunch break.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll be able to get a shot of those school children up on G row, the center
lower
of
and
G row,
the lower level of
the
G.
very closest level
Down with the rails, yeah.
by the rails of Section G, just above the technical table. Table tennis, in my time, was equally as prominent within the primary schools as it was within secondary schools and club level and everything. And the investment in it, you've got the facilities. I'm sure the People's Republic of China will also assist. We had Cuban coaches coming here with the sports council.
Swedish coaches as well. I'm somewhat surprised that the Chinese were not invited, sent an invitation to this tournament. Seems like they were the principal constructors of this facility. Surprise.
Ooh.
It's not a windmill.
Yeah, and played almost from the hip as it is. Of course, short people can't really play that as easily because they're not the height above the playing table.
Yeah, Brown seems to be a little more competitive here than I thought he would be.
Okay. I'm 56 and I'm wearing glasses, and I'm sure Lieutenant Colonel Trevor Brown wears glasses. Why is he not playing in his glasses?
Are you sure he wears glasses?
I am almost certain.
I've never seen him in glasses.
Okay.
Never seen him in glasses.
I have now found out what the reason why his accuracy is slightly off. He needs to get his eyes checked.
He won a second game? Yes, he did. Our first game.
Well, they haven't ended their exchanges. That's the other thing I like to find out
It's
too.
2-1, yes. It's 2-1 to Brown. It's interesting.
I'd like to find out how it is that all of a
2-1
sudden my
to
eyesight
Brown.
has started to deteriorate.
It's called the forces of mortality that step in. And at this stage, the forces of mortality go ahead of you. Rather, previously it would have been next to you, side and side. But now this one, right, is ahead of you. So you have to follow the forces of mortality. And there isn't anything that you can do about it.
No amount of eating carrots and all these other healthy things that they recommend. Did you know that apparently carrots, yes, may assist in reducing eyesight trouble? Or the three youngsters have decided that they've gone away from our shot for
Our
the time
view,
being.
okay.
Probably have to take a bathroom break or something, or they're going for the
You're
break
talking
or
about
whatever.
carrots, yeah, let me hear this.
But the carrots, during World War II, it was suggested that one of the RAF pilots was a super ace because he ate carrots.
Okay, tell me something.
It was because they were using radar that he was being able to
Okay.
shoot down the enemy planes.
Tell me something. Carrots are grown from a seed.
Actually, I have only seen the carrot tops growing. I don't know if they start off as a seed or not.
That puzzled me for years. I don't know if carrots are grown by a seed.
I am going to tell you yes, because you can buy carrot seeds, like how you can buy all the other peppers and all other things in the packets, in little paper envelopes.
Okay.
But like I said, in my little 4-H time and agriculture time, onions, yes. Even though there's a spinach vine I'm growing, fruit trees. But yeah, no.
Now we're going to see.
Carrots a little too tricky for me.
We're going to see from this angle now, Mr. Brown. Sorry. Carlisle, sorry, Cleveland, Carlisle, yes. I think he's disturbed now. Brown seems to get in the magic call for timeout. Yes. Brown seems to be getting the measure of him.
And
He
it's leading 4-2.
Yeah, he's requested a timeout. And Brown is leading 2-1.
2 games to 1.
Yeah.
Scoring this final, he's scoring this fourth game, 2-1, and the current one will make it 4. So 2 and 1 is 3. The game in progress makes it 4. So in this fourth game, current score
I remember
is 4-2.
I was at a tournament where a guy requested a timeout, and the guy who was down, did not go to get any briefings from his coach. You know how a boxer will stay in his corner,
Standing as
right,
opposed
to
to
sitting, right, and that disturbed the guy because the guy was down, and that psychological little move disturbed the guy so much that the guy caught back with it and beat him.
2 knockdowns early o'clock,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
still lose the game.
This guy is not calling because he's confused, he's concerned, he's not controlling the game that he usually does. Throw the service out, hope that you get a topspin return and volley it down the opposite side. Brown needs to chop that ball when he rolls it out.
Oh, yeah.
This is too close for comfort.
Minus
6-6. Came back from
Juice the
6-3. Yeah. It's not juicy level, the score is. Juice
Well,
is at
yes,
10,
juice is when it's actually
10.
going to be.
Yeah.
But
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I saw that come in. Brown was too square onto the table to play that ball down to the backhand from that forehand prop. Oh dear. Brown's in trouble. He's now leading 8-6. Brown has lost 5 straight points.
got back on his service.
Yeah, but that ball hit net though.
Got back those 2 points.
8 all, huh? Yeah, 8 all, yeah.
No. 2 away. Missing it.
And that was 2. That was a easy shot right in the sweet spot. Watch the guy. He starts here. Watch man. Drops his hand and tosses the ball up. Drops his hand and tosses the ball up. And shouldn't bring the ball from below him. And
Level of the table.
yes.
On service.
On service, yes.
Ooh.
10-10. Oh dear.
Nowhere there, Juice.
Juice, yes. Oh dear.
Advantage Brown.
That's a shot that I can play. Yes, I can play that. Like you're swatting a mosquito, you know what I mean?
Calls for floppy. Yes. And it's away. Game, set.
Very well done.
Nerves of steel there, as they would say in military parlance.
Very well done, Lieutenant. Very well done.
You may have lost battle, but you eventually won the war. And that,
Well, I shouldn't say lieutenant. He's a lieutenant colonel.
yes, Lieutenant Colonel, as they
Yeah,
like to
because
say.
he's a half a colonel.
Perhaps playing on table 3 is what he wanted to do all the time.
Yes. Did very well. Very well.
Well, before we go,
Yes, in summary here, Martin, we had an entertaining morning here, morning session. We had some great tennis between Trevor Farley and Dale Rudder, Shannon Duglin and Joel Henry of Trinidad and Tobago. And we had an equally good one here with Marcus Dowell and the other Trinidadian guy. But what I was interested or pleased to see is that Marcus, I will speak about his one primarily, he's a really a touch player. He plays the ball soft and controls it. But then after he played the first game like that and he won, he changed the tempo and started to, what we call in tennis, use the third ball attack after you serve, right? And that confused the guy then. But then the third game, he went back into a semi, right. What I thought was interesting. That was what we call good thinking, good strategy, because I saw him practicing with the guy yesterday, I didn't quite understand why you be practicing here. I said, no, you have to play the game today. But obviously, he had a plan in mind that I didn't know of. And it materialized and it worked out very well. So far, a good morning session.
So, before we go, just a reminder that this is the third day of the Commonwealth Table Tennis Federation's Masters Championships here from the Willie Gymnasium, brought to you by Stag Global, Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, National Peace Program, National Sports Council, Barbados Olympic Association, Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Local Organizing Committee, the Barbados Table Tennis Association. On behalf of Ricky Cummins, I'm Martin Paris. See you in the afternoon session.
Take care.